Okay, great. Hi, we're live. Welcome back. My name is Lindy Jung. I am a science fiction and fantasy writer, and I have a very special guest on today. So, Chris, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I always get so nervous introducing myself, but yeah, my name is Kris. I also have an AuthorTube channel. I'm a speculative fiction writer, and I'm very excited to be part of Lynn's stream. I basically just like last minute asked you. I was just like, "Oh, I'm free. Can
Yeah,
I just like join you?"
which I was down for, but if anyone saw the thumbnail change, that's why that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am so glad to have you on today, and I'm so excited to start and to. Uh,
Oh, I just lost some of your audio.
oh, that's.
You're back. You are back.
Oh, okay, good, perfect.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about what you're working on?
Yeah, I've
Um,
been drafting an adult fantasy book since April-ish.
mhm,
So that's what I'm working on. I just started Act 2 a few weeks ago.
mhm.
It was like a very slow Act 1 start, but I'm in it now. I started
Nice.
writing a new chapter like this morning because
Mhm,
today, like when we got on stream, I didn't want to be like writing like the top of a fresh chapter because like
mhm,
it takes me a while to like get going.
mhm,
But
mhm.
yeah, I'm like
Yeah, no,
halfway
that's fair.
through.
Yeah, perfect. I so I've actually been really struggling to start my book, so it's like that Act 1 slow
Oh
section.
my god, yeah, new book!
I yeah.
Exciting.
For now,
That's so
yeah.
exciting.
I'm also, like, revising a short story kind of at the same time, which is a little bit, I think, why I'm having a hard time kind of getting off the ground. But I've,
Mhm.
like, scrapped and started over the beginning a couple times, and I think I found a good spot for it, so,
Yeah.
um,
How much did you
yeah.
outline?
I outlined the whole thing, but the back half, as per
Mm.
usual, I'm like,
It's like,
this happens. It's like,
yeah, it happens,
yeah, all
kind
this will go
of.
down. I don't
Yeah.
know how, but it will. So it's
Yeah.
very much that vibe right now. But I am like excited for this story for sure. And it is an adult fantasy, gothic fantasy, maybe a romantasy, kind of not really, about feuding necromancy houses. And
So good.
yeah,
I'm so
that's all
excited.
I have to say. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up some of the questions and messages from the chat right now and then see what everyone else is working on. And yeah, one of my questions that I dropped at the beginning of the chat for everyone is like, what are you working on right now? What are you hoping to accomplish in this stream? Are you excited for the Camp Nano, which I'm kind of doing in like an unofficial capacity? I'm just like, I'll just focus a little
Yeah.
bit on writing this month. Um, and yeah, all that good stuff. So Adam says, to answer Lynn, I was on another stream that was 4.5 hours, which kept me busy, but the main part of the day will be looking at a novella I shelved in February and seeing if chapters can be tweaked. 4.5 hours is crazy.
That's crazy. I
That's
can't
like
concentrate for
dedicated.
that long.
Me neither. My voice will go. Like my voice is already going.
Yeah.
Wow. Who's running 4.5 hour streams? I really would like to know.
It's impressive.
I know, right? Damn. I'm working on my Camp NaNoWriMo goal, which is to finish planning all 10 of my work in progresses and set up their journals. Very cool. I used to do like the journal setups too, but I've kind of stopped
Ooh.
because it was time consuming. But that's
Yeah.
also 10 wild. But I hope
10
you
is
get
crazy.
that.
That's really impressive.
That is really impressive. Um, Working on speculative fiction for the first time. I'm very excited. Nice.
Ooh.
Actually started writing the novella rewrite novel I was outlining last week.
Novellas. I
Uh,
love how many people are working on novellas.
I know, I
We
do
need
love
more
a
novellas.
novella. I agree. I wish there were more. I want there to be more. Also,
Yeah.
Lynn, I did it. I finished the first draft onto edits. Nice, congratulations. This person has been like coming to the stream since the first one, and I think finished
Ooh.
not on stream, but like in that time, which is really cool. Um, Lots of people are doing. Lynn streams are my Super Bowl. It's not nearly as high budget, but thank you.
But they are better.
Honestly, I think the Super Bowl's kind of boring. I like the halftime show. I like
Yeah.
some of the
I don't know
ads, but
anything about football, sorry.
I know a little bit, but I really don't care. So it's
I feel
like
like
hard to
football
feel
is
invested.
incredibly American.
It
Like,
is. I forgot you weren't American for a second.
yeah, in Canada, it's hockey and basketball.
In America, it's
Yeah,
basketball too. I'm starting to follow
that's true.
basketball, like, a little
Yeah.
bit more. So you guys have your own, like, Canadian league of
We
basketball?
have well, we have the Toronto Raptors that are part of the
Oh, okay.
NBA. Yeah.
Oh, they are? I don't know that
Yeah.
much about basketball, I guess.
They're the only Canadian team in the NBA.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
very cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just know that I'm not supposed to like the Celtics. I don't know.
Ugh. No one likes
Yeah,
the
okay.
Celtics unless they're from Boston.
Exactly, same with the
Yeah.
Patriots. I'm sorry to people from New England. I have many
Yeah.
people I love and adore from New England. Your sports teams are rotted. I'm so
Yeah. No, but Boston is very, very good.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
are. That's why everyone hates them. So, take that information.
Yeah. I actually have someone I went to high school with plays for the Boston Celtics, so I kind of, like, begrudgingly supported them, even
That's
though they're not my
crazy.
favorite team.
Wait,
So
you have to tell me who later.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
tell me
Yeah.
who. Not here, but
Yeah.
my partner's, like, super into basketball, so I'll just be like,
Who does he support? Who's his favorite
well,
team?
the Milwaukee Bucks, I guess,
Oh,
but
okay.
also, like, the Timberwolves because the Bucks aren't very good, I think. I don't know.
Is
I
that
don't know.
Milwaukee's the Midwest or
Yeah.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
Timberwolves is Minnesota, which is also the Midwest, but I
I
think
like
there's, like,
Minnesota.
Midwestern beef.
Yeah, there definitely
Different
is.
states, not even just in
Yeah.
sports, but they just don't like each other for
Yeah,
some reason.
probably not.
I love how on topic we are. We're so good at being
Sorry, guys, I just, like,
No,
derailed it.
no, I love
Anyways,
it.
let's move on from
That's the
sports. I
joy of
know
this.
non-sports people, like, hate when people bring up sports.
I mean, I'm not a sports person, but I like hearing about sports. I think it's fun.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I'm working on my speculative horror novel, Sinners, for Camp Nano, and it's my first time participating. That's really
Oh,
exciting.
nice.
I hope you have fun. I feel like it is a fun challenge, and you find, like, a lot of community, and it's just,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's a fun time of year. Trying to get started. It's kind of hard watching the blank page. Yes. Oh my God, so many
I feel
messages
that.
came in. I'm so behind. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go through these a little bit
Oh,
quickly.
whoops. Wait a second.
Brielle's here, so hi, Brielle.
Hi, Brielle.
World building during these sprints. Nice. That's really fun. Joining today before I go on another road trip. Can I read? Writing a brand new spec fic today. 1920s Savannah with a queer cast of characters conducting a kind of exorcism. Ooh, love that. Okay. Not me gaslighting myself into wanting to write by watching AuthorTube.
That's me.
I feel that. That's
Yeah.
I'll usually, like, watch old Chris and Kelly videos if I'm like, okay, I need the motivation today. I'm like, I need to be in the zone.
Yeah. Every Saturday, I refresh my subscription page, and I'm, like, so sad when you guys don't post.
Oh my God. We don't post for, like, a week or two at a time, and then somehow we
Yeah.
always post at the same time, like, at least 2 of us.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And we
It's
don't
true.
communicate about it at all.
No, we don't.
We're just on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Nervous about Nano because I never finish it, but I'm working on the first book of a potential fantasy duology.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean, like,
exciting.
I think it's not to give you unsolicited advice, but I think it's okay to not finish Nano. I haven't finished Nano in
Mhm.
probably 5 years, so probably
Yeah.
more.
It's tough.
It is. It's a challenge for a
Yeah.
reason, and I think any amount you get done during that time is, like, really something to be proud of.
I agree.
Like, as someone who does wanna do this professionally, I would never write a book in a month, like, on my
Oh my God,
like that.
no.
No, I would not.
Yeah.
Super Bowls for the commercials.
That's
I
true.
only know Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Pretty much same.
A bunch of people were like, Canada represent. Like, Canada.
Exactly. Let's go.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh. Wow, this chat is wild. There's a lot of people here. We drew in the
Yay.
crowd. This is the Super Bowl. We have to get that into our heads. Wait, I'm processing this. What are the Browns? What are the Ravens? I'm actually American, but half my family lives in Canada.
Is that
Is that
football?
football? I'll assume it's football.
Us being clueless.
Just got my manuscript back from my copy editor, so I'm working on that. I
Ooh,
like
nice.
the copy editing stage. I just like
Me
it.
too.
It's like
So
I turn my
gratifying.
brain off and I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, period there. Delete the
Oh,
punctuation.
so
It's
good.
I like it. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
relaxing. But I also used to copy edit for like my school paper. Not very well.
Oh.
I was very inconsistent with how much I got done, but I did do it. Okay, lots of people are saying hi. Hello to everyone who's here, who's coming in just now. Does anyone else pretend they're on a podcast explaining their writing choices while doing chores to get amped to actually write? Oh, like to yourself? I interview myself in my head all the time.
Do you actually? Oh my god, I should start doing that.
It's like, it's good. I don't know.
That's
I always
so
like to like
helpful.
question myself. Yeah. I talk to myself though, so it's because I don't have images in my brain, so I have to compensate by talking. Oh,
that's a good
okay.
idea.
Wait, I did hit the end. Perfect. Not me coming from Chris's writing AI video. That was such a good video. Everyone go watch it. It's such a good analysis. Chris's AI video came out today. It's about like AI writing tools basically. And I think everyone should watch it to inform themselves or to just hear some very eloquently stated not shade exactly, but just like
I wrote the script in a day. It was a Friday and I was like,
Okay, I think we're gonna go into our first sprint.
Yay.
Does that seem accurate? I don't know how I want it to be formatted though. Maybe like that? That's good.
That looks nice. Oh my gosh. That's so
Does everyone
pretty.
Like, thank you. I mean, I didn't make it, so I don't know why I said thank you, but I found this one and you can change the background. So I really like that. And it's a lot of like Ghibli backgrounds that are like preset.
That's so pretty.
I enjoy it. But yeah, so 20 minutes sound good for everyone. I actually am going to be working on an essay in this first one, so I am a liar.
An essay? Oh wow.
Essay for school. School is devouring my life.
School.
It's actually so bad because I was in science. So like they didn't think we could read. So they didn't make us read.
No.
I was in science for all of undergrad and now I mean like it's still technically a Master of Science, but it is like for education curriculum, that kind of thing. So it is a lot of reading and a lot of theory. And like I really like it, but I feel like I have no brain power at the end of the day.
Oh my
like,
god.
My brain is so full of words.
I haven't written an essay in years. I don't even know how.
I don't know. Academic writing is definitely
a different brain.
And yeah, it's hard for me to switch from academic to like my fantasy book. So I'm just trying to get this out of the way so I can turn that part of my brain off.
Yeah.
Why does the Ghibli man have to twerk at us though? I'm sorry. I can change it.
He kind of is.
I think I thought he was golfing, but I might be wrong. He's definitely not golfing. He's
doing something.
Just twerk. It's fine. He's feeling himself. Okay. Let's do this first sprint and see what we get done.
Okay. I will be muting because I will be coughing a lot. I have COVID, you guys.
I'm so sorry, and I hope you feel better.
It's all good.
I will not be muted because I have a keyboard, so One second. I'm so sorry. Everything's fine. The oven is just kind of stinky, so it set off the fire, the smoke
Oh my
alarm.
god, I got so
But
weird. I was like, Lynn, your house is
I like ran
burning.
out of a burning. No, it's totally
Okay,
fine. It was just
okay, I'm
I'm so
glad.
sorry
I'm
during
glad.
our like peaceful vibe time too. Oh my gosh. But yeah, just the oven kind of smelled bad, really.
Okay, I'm glad it's all good.
Yeah. Oh, I was wondering what that sound was, but the timer stopped. Hey,
Okay.
welcome back, everyone. Yes, no. Just out of curiosity, no, my house is not going to burn down. It was just there was like some residue in the oven because that kind of hasn't been cleaned in a while. I just am subleasing this apartment. And so it kind of like when it turns on, the oven gets stinky, and I guess this time it was stinky enough that the smoke alarm went off. Um,
Yeah,
I'm so
happens to me
sorry to
too.
everyone who got startled by that. It also scared me, so but yeah, everyone's okay. Why does
Good.
the keyboard typing sound so satisfying? I don't know. It's the mechanical keyboard. Like, it actually
Yeah.
sounds so good and so juicy.
ASMR.
I know, right? I put it into like all of my videos now. I'm just like 5 minutes of me typing. That's half
Yeah.
the vlog. But yeah, how'd that go for everyone? Like, what did you get done? Chris, did you get a good amount of stuff done?
I did. I was kind of editing what I wrote earlier
Hmm.
today, but I think I wrote like 300 new words. So
Yeah, that's really good.
average.
I was about to
I
say
also
that's
cut out
really
some
good.
words.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's good. I feel like I write really slow. Also, I keep coughing, so my cat is like jerking.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry you're sick. That sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of like came out of nowhere because my parents had been traveling. They came back from the US, and
Mhm.
then I think one of our family members there tested positive, and
Mm,
then, yeah, I just got it from my parents. I
sucks.
think. We haven't fully tested ourselves yet, so
Okay. Just like the
yeah.
quick test or
They don't sell rapids anymore at my pharmacy,
Really?
yeah, so
What?
yeah,
I saw
it's
a bunch at Walgreens, but I don't know if that's because 'cause I'm, like, on a university campus, so I feel
yeah,
like they do make those resources accessible still.
yeah, but I'm all good, I'm just such an annoying cough.
Yeah, I feel that. Actually, as far as I know, I never got it.
Ever?
No,
I've
I don't
gotten
think
it
so.
2 years ago, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I know some people who got it, like, January 2020, and, like, they had to
Ugh.
drive an hour to Los Angeles to, like, get a full test because, like, it was still so new, and I think,
Yeah,
like, they were in their 20s, and I think now they have a bunch of issues,
mhm,
but yeah, because I
yeah,
was, like, still in the, well, vet med field, like, I was in veterinary medicine at the time, so we were, like,
mhm.
really, like, on it with the
Yeah,
distancing and the, like we did not let people into our clinic who didn't work for
yeah,
us for, I think, like, 3 years. So, yeah,
yeah, it's
I got
like
through safe.
yeah, it was crazy back then, like, because no
Mhm.
one was vaccinated, like, it was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much worse back then. Yeah,
It
the
really
first
was.
time I got it was much, much worse. I had, like,
Mhm.
fever, muscle ache, cough,
Mm.
nose, like, it was everything, but this time it's just a cough and the nose, so
Mhm.
it's much better.
Mm. Yeah. Well, it still sucks, so I'm sorry you have to go through that. Yeah, I'll pull up some of this. I still haven't finished my paper, guys. I'm almost done. I think I have, like, 2 sentences left, but, I
Almost
just am so over
there.
it. I'm over it. Okay. Alyssa's here, which is amazing. Hi. I just also
Hi.
watched your video on AI, and it was really, really good, so everyone go watch that because I don't know, I'm here for the AI discussion. It's time, you know? Um, annotating my draft to prep for revision, very cool. Just got word sorry, reading ahead, Leia just got word that 2 of their nonfiction pieces are getting published in a newspaper in New York, which is super
Ooh,
cool. How do you get published by, like, a newspaper? I mean, I
yeah.
guess it would be kind of the same I don't know, but that's really cool. Sometimes you just need a good jump start of the heart. Oh, 1 second. Every once in a while. Hold on 1 minute. I'll
Okay.
be back.
Lynn, she's having a day.
No, I'm just trying to help with dinner while actually not helping at all because I'm over here, but that's okay.
I also, like, I just noticed your light. I don't know how I just noticed that.
Oh,
It's
yeah, it's
so
the same
pretty.
one I've been using, but I just kind of propped it in the corner because my room's a little bare because I didn't fully, like, move in because I'm only here until
Right.
August, so
Oh, yeah.
have you got advice for young writers? There we go, question.
Ooh, that's a very broad question, I guess.
It is. I guess, like,
Yeah.
how young and honestly, my
Mhm.
advice for people who are, like, really new to writing, no matter what your age, is to just write for fun and not write
Mhm.
with goals in mind because I feel like that's a surefire way to get really frustrated.
Yeah,
As someone who
I
is, like,
agree.
starting yeah, as someone who's starting to figure out what they wanna write and, like, what kind of stories I actually wanna put out into the world,
Yeah.
the difference between what I wrote early on and the difference between what I write now is that now I feel like I think a lot more deeply, not just about themes, but about, like, character arcs, like, all the internal stuff
Yeah.
that happens, and
Yeah.
so I would spend time, like, exploring different themes and ideas that you wanna explore. It's repetitive, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
also to
agree.
just have fun, yeah, and read a lot. Read so much. Read
Yeah. That's what I was
constantly,
gonna
read a
say.
variety. Yeah, good
Yeah. I
advice.
think reading broadly is important, like, read across genres. Obviously, read deeply in the genres that you wanna write in, but also when you're reading and when you're even just consuming media, TV shows, movies, like, I not to say that you shouldn't consume that media for fun, but I think like it really helps to try to consume that media as a writer and like pay attention to what are the stories that you find really exciting and that really
Mhm.
resonate with you, and then try to think about what are the elements that make that story very impactful to you. And I think the
Yes.
more that you kind of get into that head, the more you'll start to do that very unconsciously until you really like develop the themes and the genres that will contribute to the writer that you'll eventually become.
Yeah, that's really well put. You always, like, word it so well when you give
I think I
advice.
just said what you said in different words.
No, I mean, I do think that you're very, like, eloquent with that. Um,
Yeah.
so I appreciate that, and that's why I love your videos. Sorry, I'm just going through all of these. A lot of people got a good amount of words done, so that is very good. Last stream I was trying to outline more, so developed a new idea to try to break out of a writing rut, realized I didn't like the story, so now I'm just trying to narrow down what story to write. Yeah. I feel like when you find the right idea, you kinda know.
Yeah.
It's like how much room is there to explore, basically, is what I look for in my ideas, but I'm sure you'll find
Yeah.
something. Lynn's room with the nightclub chill.
Yeah.
I
You
have
just need like
in
strobe lights or like a disco ball or something.
I do have, like, a DJ light, but I kind of don't know how to use it, so
Oh,
I haven't set it up.
oh.
I have I did have a big nightclub
Yeah.
I'm a
Go
terrible
to the
dancer, I still
raves.
love to dance. I don't think I could handle a rave because of I mean, like, people at clubs do
Mhm.
substances, but I'm
Yeah.
not into that, so I do kind of wanna get like, one of my friends from high school went to, like, Electric Daisy Carnival in Vegas this year, and I was
Oh,
like, "I would go to
Vegas.
that." I don't like Vegas. I grew up, like, going there because it's, like, rock climbing is good there
Yeah,
in Red
yeah.
Rock, so yeah. But yeah, a little bit of backstory. Tips for starting a writing YouTube channel. I just started mine, but long form content scares me. Well, first of all, I want to follow you, but thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Um, this is Beck Leavesley. For starting, I think a good place to start is like there's a lot of like tags that go around, right? I personally have never
I think
done one,
so.
but I know Kelly kind of started out with like a new author tuber tag way back when.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for
I
kind of
think like
a long
yeah, a lot of author tubers do that just kind of
time.
as like an introduction to themselves.
Mhm.
Um, I don't it's interesting because I think short form content scares me more
Me
than
too.
long form.
I
I feel
can't.
like maybe we're just old. I feel like long form content, I can say all the things that I need to say,
Uh-huh.
and it just feels like more gratifying. Oh, granted, it's a lot more work, but like it
Mhm.
definitely just feels more gratifying to just like put together and like edit a video. I really enjoy editing.
Me
Um,
too.
but yeah, I just find short form content like, especially on YouTube. Oh my god, you only have 60 seconds. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, I think like the only tips I have for like any kind of YouTube channel is just like you have to like the videos that you're making.
Mhm.
So I think and then I guess like in a more technical way, I think writing blogs always do well.
Mhm.
Because I think a lot of writers watch writing vlogs to just like feel like they're kind of writing with someone, and to just personally, I like watching them because it's just like a peek into someone's process, and
Mhm.
like it's interesting to hear the way that people talk about their projects and how they approach their
Yeah.
projects. So if lifestyle and vlogs interest you, then I think they do really well. And then I think the other side of like AuthorTube is like doing craft videos. So like
Mhm.
breaking down like, how you think about world building or character arcs or prose.
Mhm. Yeah. For me, I started out with a bit of a blend, and I continue to do a bit of a blend for a while. Now I'm sort of moving more into, like, lifestyle and vlogs because
Mhm.
craft videos are weird because if it does well, it does really well, and if it doesn't, no one watches
Yeah.
it. So it's
I
like,
have like
great.
a few that have done well, but
Mhm.
most of them are just kind of like they don't hit the top 10 of my
Mhm.
uploads like immediately,
Mhm. Yeah,
but they
and then
have
they
some
just get
longevity. Like
disappeared.
people will
Yeah.
find them like months later.
Yeah, my I have 2 videos on, like, writing horror stories specifically, and in October, they always
Mm.
get a bump, and I think that's so cute.
Spooky
Everyone's like,
season.
"I'm in the mood, Halloween." Yeah, and then it gets a little bump.
Yeah.
I really like that, honestly. But yeah, so I think craft is also a little harder because there is only so much you can say about craft,
Yeah.
and I personally, like, if I'm not looking for something specific, like, if I'm not looking for,
Yeah.
like, specific advice on how to tackle theme or character arcs or whatever, or, like, the
Yeah.
trappings of a certain genre, then I'm probably not watching craft videos for fun, so that's probably why they perform a little worse, but I
Yeah.
almost always am, like, in the mood for a writing vlog. Like, I'll just put that on in the
Yeah.
background.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, vlogs, if you're into that, though, but again, like Chris said, definitely do what like, the kinda content you wanna do, and maybe it's
Hmm.
neither of those things and it's something completely new and novel, and that would
Yeah.
be very cool also.
Yeah.
I do feel like it gets repetitive sometimes for me, I'm like, "Okay, I've made,
I
like,
can't do too
3
many
vlogs
vlogs
in a row."
in a
Yeah,
row. Yeah.
it gets tiring. Um, oh, this is about the newspaper thing. So it was a writing camp that was competing for a couple spots in newspapers.
Oh.
Nice. Well, that's really cool. Congratulations. Getting some emails. Um, do you have a YouTube video about character arcs? I think I have a
Ooh.
couple, but they're all like really
You definitely
specific.
do.
Yeah, they're like I have an old one that's about like villain redemption arcs,
Oh.
and then I guess like a romance arcs one. But I don't have like a broad look at character arcs, I think. But if you're looking for specific things, I might have it.
Yeah. I'd also always recommend Shaylin's channel. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
Shaylin
sure
really
at
covers.
Shaylin Writes
Mhm.
has craft videos for literally every topic
And they're
ever.
all good and
Yeah,
insightful.
and they're
It's
all really good.
so wild. Shaylin is an
Shaylin
actual
and
gift.
Rachel
Yes,
Writes as
Rachel
well.
also.
Yeah,
Underrated. I don't know how Rachel is so underrated.
truly. Oh my God, I've been watching Rachel forever.
Mhm, me too, me too. Like, from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, that's such a weird noise. Um, craft being finite is such a relief when all's said and done. Yeah. I don't know if it's finite. I think there's just only so many ways you can give advice without looking at someone's work directly, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think so
But
too. And I
yeah.
think a lot of craft is just like finding different ways to say a lot of things that other writers have said. But I do think like the different ways that different writers reframe it can be helpful because
Mhm.
everyone sort of like their brains are wired differently, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, which is, like, what's good about writing because everyone is gonna have a
Yeah.
different perspective. 2 people with the
Yeah.
same prompt are gonna write completely different things. Yeah, and I love that. I it's what makes, like, literature interesting to me is to see the different perspectives and takes. And that's why I like genre, honestly. People are like, "Oh, fantasy is
Mm.
so repetitive," and I'm like, "It's really not."
Is it?
It's
I don't
so
think
not.
so.
I think they think
Yeah,
that because young adult fantasy leans on the same tropes a
maybe.
lot, but even then,
Yeah.
like, there are no 2 young adult fantasy books that are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Shaylin Bishop is a primordial archbishop among grading
That's
instructors.
so
True!
true.
So true.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's very
gosh.
true.
Everyone needs to, like
It's
yeah.
truly like masterclass level stuff, and
It is.
you get that insight for free.
Yes, I was about to say, like, it's
Yeah.
free, which is actually wild. Okay, I'm gonna make this the last one, and then we can jump into another sprint, which sound off in the chat if you want it to be 25. Chris, if you're okay with that, we can do a little bit of a longer one,
Yeah, I'm okay
and
with
have it
either.
be 25 minutes instead of 20, but only if
Yeah.
other people want that also. Any tips on short fiction from y'all? And Shaylin is amazing. Love the way all y'all approach writing. Thank you. Um, tips on short fiction.
Hmm.
I I feel like I'm not successful at short fiction. So
Me too. My brain is not wired for short fiction. I
yes.
think the main thing is that for me, the reason I enjoy writing novels more
Mhm.
is because whenever I get an idea, like I really want to explore it very deeply. Um, and I think in short fiction, you kind of have to like think less about a character arc, if that makes sense. Like, you don't really have time to, like, flesh out a world, for example. I
Mhm.
think it's like I
Mhm.
really see it as, like, a singular idea and what can I how can I explore this singular idea in, like, almost, like, the least amount of words, like, in the least amount of scenes, I
Mhm.
should say, not the least amount of
Yeah.
words. Like, you have significantly less plot beats, I think.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and I think one of the things the pieces of advice I see for short fiction is to make, like, that snapshot that you're taking of that moment as narrow as possible, if
Yeah,
that makes sense, because it
yeah,
is a slower word count, so you don't want short fiction that's just telling you what happened over the course of 3 years, you want, like, a burst, a moment. I don't know.
yeah,
Everything is different too, because short fiction is very diverse in form and content and, like, goals and stuff.
yeah,
Almost more so than novels, because I feel like with novels, because you have to
yeah,
hold on to the reader for longer, you do have to sort of, like, for fiction at least, generally hit some not benchmarks, but, you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you need to draw them in, you need to show them the character.
Yeah, the
Um,
plot structure.
yeah. So I guess advice would just be to experiment as
Yeah,
much as
I
you
was gonna
can.
say actually, like with short fiction, I use it for like weird ideas, like stuff that I
Mhm.
don't think I have a full plot for.
Yeah.
And I also use it to experiment in voices that I wouldn't necessarily want to sustain across a novel.
Mm.
So I really enjoy like doing more like second person or just like if there's just like a voice that I feel like is not usually how I write, but I kind of want to play around with it.
Mhm.
I just kind of use it like a prose exercise.
Mhm. I realized I didn't pop us out for this, which is
Oh, that's okay.
hilarious. Ah, I'm such an old lady. Also, I think I will do
Yeah.
25 sorry to veer off topic, but I think I will do 25 for this one
Okay.
because it seems like more people want that. But yeah, anyway, someone said with short fiction, it's like the character arc is a full photo and the work has to be zoomed in. I think that's a pretty good way of describing it. But again, not always.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, so many possibilities. And that is what excites me about short fiction because I read a lot of it because I'm a first reader for Choreo magazine.
Oh,
And
right. Yeah.
so, yeah, I like forget that I do that sometimes. But
Yeah.
like every time it's submission season, I'm like, oh yeah. But it's yeah. And so I do see like people trying to cram a novel into a short story a lot. And I think,
Yeah. And it's very evident.
yeah, you have to pick and
Yeah.
choose like what
Yeah.
moment you're going to write about. But yeah, okay. Are we ready to sprint, do you think?
Yes.
Beautiful. I'll pop us back out again. All right, 25 mm, 25 minutes. So, wait. Y'all will only be old ladies when you have 20 published novels apiece. Enjoy the golden years. I hope, I wish.
I hope.
Okay. I know, right? 20 seems like a lot for me.
I know.
Go into it. Hello.
That was crazy.
The world's most unprofessional stream.
The smoke
Oh
detector!
my
What
god,
is
it's
she
trying to
doing?
destroy my career. She's, like, trying to get me
Oh my god.
canceled.
That is so funny. Is
Oh
everything
my god,
okay?
yeah. Yeah, I think it's just so there's, like, a pizza pan kind of on the
Oh,
coils,
yeah.
that was left in there, so we just pulled it out, and it already smells better. No, it's just this is, like, a weird apartment, and, like, the oven's just, you know.
Oh,
It's
that's so
fine, it's
funny.
fine. This has never happened before, so I love that it's happened 3 times today.
Oh my god. And it
Mm.
wasn't doing that earlier today?
Mm-mm. No. I think
Wow.
it's
Well,
actually, I've used
timing.
oven before and it, like yeah. Sorry to everyone that scared. Sorry for leaving in the middle of the stream, like, 3 times just to deal with it. Oh, Kelly dropped in to say hi, and then she left.
Yay!
I love you too, Kelly. Um, okay, great. So we've got yeah, so
Oh my god, it makes hearts?
it does?
When you do hearts? Guys, stop. What else does it do?
Just the heart? This heart?
It
Peace sign?
doesn't recognize the Korean one.
Yeah, that's
What about
racist.
this heart?
Oh, that looks more like a
It
heart.
doesn't. This is such a psychotic heart. I don't like this
This
one.
is no?
That's crazy.
That's really funny. Yeah. It wasn't the batteries, it just, like, had to be reset, I guess.
Mm, yeah.
I got on a stool and I reset it, but yeah. Um, that smoke alarm the smoke alarm is the main character of
Yeah.
this
It
stream.
really is.
Such a diva. Uh, convinced Lynn is living with a pyromaniac.
Yeah, what is
Oh my
going on?
god. Weirdly, I've always had trouble with smoke alarms. I mean, I'm a terrible cook and burn things all the time, but yeah. It's not even it's the fact that this apartment isn't, like, really well ventilated. Like, even our bathroom doesn't have a fan in
Mm.
it, which is, like, crazy
Oh,
because
what the
it's so
hell?
yeah, these are, like,
Mold?
undergrad
No?
student,
Oh, I
like,
see.
not dorms, but, like, not university
Yeah,
either,
yeah.
just, like, overpriced apartments by a university campus that aren't really well
Yeah. Just
maintained, and
student housing.
yeah, I feel like they aren't up to code either. Like, if a tornado hit us,
Yee!
like, I don't know where I'd go fully because there's not a basement.
Yikes.
If you do peace sign, that
It
didn't
didn't do anything.
isn't this, like, foul? Wait. Okay.
What was
What?
that?
What was
That
that?
was so delayed.
It was. It did it for me?
How is peace sign confetti?
I don't
I don't
know.
think that's
You
really
think that'd be, like,
whatever.
jazz hands or something.
Yeah.
Reminds me of living in the uni halls, smoke alarms went off every 10 minutes. Oh, finals week 1 year, I
Mm.
only lived freshman dorms my freshman year, even though I was 21. Finals week, it went off, and every time the smoke alarm went off in our building, we had to evacuate the building for
That's so
safety
annoying.
reasons.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was also, like, 11 PM on, like, the day before my 8 AM final, and I was like, "Whoever left that, like, pan of ramen is gonna get we're all gonna, like,
You
jump
know,
that person."
I feel like when the smoke alarms go off, like, people don't actually leave their apartments.
Yeah,
At least that's how it is at my condo.
yeah.
No
Does it
one
just go off
cares.
in 1 unit or, like, the whole place?
So if something happens, it goes off, I think, in your unit, but, like,
Uh-huh.
if you don't do anything about it, I think it'll go off in the whole building.
Interesting, and
Yeah.
I probably
So
wouldn't
that it
then.
people would evacuate, I don't know.
Mm.
It's crazy.
I thankfully don't think that set off the rest of the building because that would be stupid. It does stink,
Yeah.
though. That oven was stinky. Wait, it says thumbs up and down and rock on. Is this rock on?
This is crazy.
Wait. What's thumbs
Ah.
down?
Oh, wow.
My daily life
Thunderstorm.
in the Midwest.
Wow, we're learning so much about StreamYard
I
today.
know. this is insane, actually. Um, I remember in college, people would be outside in their bath towels after major alarms and drills. Yeah, there are definitely a couple.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's rough.
What an experience.
Um, yeah. Wait. That was honestly like so jarring to my flow. I finished my paper,
Yay!
both of my homework assignments, so now I can finally
I'm
write,
glad.
which I only think I have like a small sprint left in me. So so happy to see you two in a stream together. I'm hoping for to finish editing a chunky chapter tonight. I hope you're able to finish it too. I will do, if you don't mind, like one more small one before we sign
Yeah, we
off
can
for
do
the
a short
day.
one.
Yeah. And yeah, we haven't done a stream together in a while. Or have we ever done a stream together? We have, right?
I feel like we have. I've definitely done one with Kelly.
Yeah. We should
We've
do one
never
with
done
like
one
all
all
three of
three of
us.
us.
Yeah,
Oh my
we
god,
should
this
do
is
one of all
so
three of
chaotic.
us. Also, I feel like Kelly's
It's
like
fine. We'll be
really
normal. We'll be
busy.
normal.
No,
Oh
you
yeah,
won't.
Kelly's so
My
busy.
smoke alarm will start
True.
going off again.
Yeah. It'll
Like
just be
even this
so
is
chaotic.
scary.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, if Kelly has the time, I'd love to do that. Or even like anyone, any author two people. We aren't like, I don't know. I feel like we'll work with anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though like, yeah. Yeah, I would work with like any author tuber really. Or do like a stream with
Fun.
anyone. It's kind of
Yeah.
nice to have a co-host because then I can leave if my smoke alarm goes off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Chris can take care of you
Oh
guys.
my gosh.
That's so funny. I'm in my vampire bag. I've come up with 2 book ideas with vampires in them.
Ooh. Vampires are
I
so in right now.
I feel like they are, but like they're so in, but they're not like oversaturated yet again.
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think people are doing vampires very differently now.
Gayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gayer. I just started Interview
Mhm.
with a Vampire, so
My
I'm
friend
getting
was
into
literally
it.
telling me about Interview with a Vampire
I
today.
gave in. I was like, I
Really?
don't need to watch this show, but people are gassing it, so
Yeah.
I gotta
Do you like
tune
it?
in. I only watched episode 1, but yes, it is
Okay.
very good.
Okay.
The people were right, unfortunately. Yeah.
The masses. I do need to watch that. I feel like right now I just like don't have brain cells after like at any point of the day. So when
Neither do
I
I.
do have time to watch TV, I watch like Psych, which I've already seen. Like I just rewatched Psych,
Oh, yeah.
which I don't know if you guys know
Easy.
about that show. I'm partial to it because I did undergrad in Santa Barbara, which is where it's set. Although it's very
Oh.
obviously filmed in Canada.
Oh, yeah. I hate when that happens. The worst is when they try to pass off Toronto as New York, and you're like, be
You're
so
like,
for real. Like, no,
what
that is
world?
Union Station.
In
So
your
embarrassing.
dreams. Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like it's like at least for me, like when I first watched it before I lived in Santa Barbara, I couldn't tell. Like you could have told me that was Santa Barbara. But now I know, like I spent so long studying the plant life in Santa Barbara that I'm like, Pine Tree,
Ooh.
no. Pine Tree, that's Vancouver.
That's so niche. Niche knowledge.
It is. It's so useless. But
I love that.
it is what it is. But I do really like Psych, even though it's a cop show, I think because it's not like the main
Mm,
characters aren't cops and they're kind of
yeah.
defrauding the Santa Barbara police constantly. I'm like,
Interesting.
it's pretty fun. I am like I do think that show is secretly like everyone in it is secretly gay, like all the characters. I'm like,
Yeah.
where was I? 500 words in total today. Thanks so much for hosting this stream. Yeah, that's
Good.
really good. That's a good day.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're able to
It's like
get
an
that done.
average day for me.
Not for me anymore, but it used to be an average day for
Yeah.
me. I feel like smoke detectors can be unnecessarily sensitive
Yeah.
sometimes.
It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Which, like, I'd rather them be sensitive than not,
I
but
guess.
also it is annoying.
It's crazy.
Mhm. I only managed 721 words. That's so good. I was in a good
That's
flow, but
good.
writing an argument between 2 characters where they're both right makes my head hurt. Interesting.
Mm,
I like that. That's, like, an interesting
yeah.
argument. I've reached over 30,000 words for my whip.
Ooh,
Congratulations. That's amazing. Um, Interview with a Vampire is so good. Or the Interview with the Vampire. Oh, 1 second.
with the vampire.
The Vampire, cool.
Yeah. Another guest. Lynn, you're so famous. Oh, that's so sweet.
I got a food delivery, and she was like, "Don't get hungry on stream."
Oh,
I'm
that's
just, I'm
so
just gonna put this in my
cute.
mouth.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
love that
good.
plate. It's so pretty. Mint
It's
green.
plastic.
Oh, well, it
Sorry.
looks like glass.
Mm, that's really good. We got portobello mushrooms from the farmer's market, so it's like
Love.
stuffed mushroom vibes. Yeah. Oh, she's such a good cook. I'll tell
Love
her
that.
that in person, and like face to face. We're not gossiping. Is there a show of it now? Apparently, yes. Psych is literally the goat. Yes, no one I know watches Psych. I got my best friend to watch a
Yeah,
little
I've
bit
never
of it.
watched it.
It's like older, so I think it's like, I mean, we're the
Mm,
same generation. But I
yeah,
don't know why I was like, you young people. We're like the
young people.
same. I think I'm used to being around young people. I found out someone in my
True.
master's program is 20, which feels insane.
Wow.
I know. I'm just like, oh. But then a lot of people are like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, so it really does balance
Yeah,
out. But 20 is really young for a master's.
I know.
Everything is filmed in Canada, especially Vancouver. I like
True.
I like Canada. It's pretty, but
You can
I
tell
don't
it's
know.
Canada.
Yeah, I can tell it's Canada. I do get like Santa Barbara for a relatively lower budget show like that would be expensive.
Yeah.
And also chaos. Like people in California, if that people are filming on location in California, all the Californians are like mad about it. Like they
Yeah, I
like
imagine.
backing up the traffic even more. Like, what is this even for? um, it's so funny you mentioned Psych because I've seen all the episodes and was just getting the itch to rewatch them all again. Yes, it's a good comfort watch because it's like entertaining, but it's pretty low stakes, honestly, even though
Oh,
it's about
yeah.
murder.
Comfort
I haven't,
show.
yeah, right. It's definitely a comfort show. I also like cycle through different sitcoms, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you watch any sitcoms?
I'm trying to think. I don't really like it's not because usually casual things I don't really watch because I'll just like watch YouTube casually.
Hmm.
So like if I'm watching a show, like I want it to be like a hard hitting
Mhm.
cerebral piece of media.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I really liked I guess Community and like
Oh,
Parks and
yeah.
Rec back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
yeah.
watched those ones the most.
Yeah, Community is one of my comfort shows. Both of them
Yeah.
are, but I really like Community. Have you
Yeah.
seen this isn't a comfort show, but it kinda is for me.
Yeah.
HBO's Barry with, like, Bill Hader?
I haven't.
Oh, that one is, like I actually haven't watched the last season, so no spoilers, but
Okay.
it's it's one of
What is
those where
it?
it's, like it's Bill Hader from, like, SNL back in I mean, I don't know if it was the heyday, but Bill Hader of SNL
Yeah.
basically playing, like, a really downtrodden hitman, but it's just, like I've
Oh,
never seen a hitman story done
that's a
like that.
fun premise.
It is, but it
I
gets,
like
like, really
weird, like,
cerebral.
twists on things
Mhm.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's, like I mean, in Hollywood, all the hitmen are cool and whatever, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
Bill Hader, but he's, like, not really being funny, but he is. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's hard to describe without giving away, like, a lot of the
Yeah.
good elements
That's
of it, but
interesting.
yeah, he has, like, such a good character arc and so much, like there's
Ooh.
so much good character complexity. One of the female characters in it who, like, most of the people who watch the show absolutely hate her because they don't
Oh,
understand, but I understand
I
because I
understand
feel like
her.
it's just like she's just written like a real woman, like an awful real woman,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
she's
yeah.
such a
Yeah.
real woman. And I feel like I
I
saw
love
that
that.
portrayal and that writing and was like, I want to write women like that, where you know exactly
Mm,
why they are the way that you are. You don't like it, but you're like, I see you. Like I understand
yeah.
you, but I don't like that. uh, Best roommates ever. My brothers wouldn't even get me my water, even if they would walk. Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, I've been really lucky with my sublease flatmates. I think they're all really great people.
That's good. Sometimes you never know.
I know I've had rough ones, but I've also had really good ones, but I've had rough
Yeah.
ones where I was like, "Oh." There was I think my main issue is if you, like, make other people clean up your mess. Like, there's a certain element of living together where
Mm,
you do kind of sort of pick up after each other, but if you
yeah.
straight up don't, like, I had a
It's gotta be,
roommate
like, equal
who
though, you know?
right? Like, it's
You
like
can't constantly be
yeah,
doing it.
like, if I'm loading the dishwasher, I'm gonna load everything in the sink, and it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
someone left their
Yeah.
breakfast thing, but if, like, I don't know, like, there's just that sort of, like, implicit understanding,
Yeah.
or
I
that, like,
agree.
routine you fall into, but I lived with a guy who, like, made you got a French press, used it once, left it out with the grounds in. The flies
Ah!
in the coffee grounds because it was out for
Flies!
weeks. Because I was like, "I'm not cleaning that, like, you used it, you drank that coffee, it's your thing."
That's
Flies,
crazy.
bugs, insects.
That's so scary.
Like, I can't
Ah,
I don't even know if and he was, like, the type to leave his dishes in the sink until they got moldy. But
oh
he was,
my
like, a
god, what the
nice
heck?
person, but yeah, it was
Oh,
just,
that's the
like
worst.
it was gross, yeah. Not to talk trash, I feel bad, but not to
Sorry
talk
to that
trash in
man.
front of 70 people. I also, like we were, like, in our early 20s, and I feel like everyone in their early 20s who hasn't lived alone before is, like, really
Oh,
just trying to figure stuff out, so
yeah,
I'm sure he's
that's
improved.
true.
Mhm. I went to Vancouver, and it was so pretty, but the main thing I took from it is that the McDonald's is subpar at best. McDonald's
In
everywhere is
Vancouver?
subpar at best. I guess, like, maybe
Yeah,
Canadian McDonald's?
I've never had, like, banging McDonald's before, personally.
Yeah. Even when I'm like, "Oh, I'm craving this and this is all I want right now," I'm like I bite into it and I'm like, Actually, no.
Yeah.
Last year, I was really sick for a while and, like, throwing up sick, and I couldn't, like, eat food for a couple days because I also
Mhm.
didn't have the appetite, but then when I kind of started to get out of that fog, I was like, "I need a McDonald's chicken nugget." And so I, like, DoorDashed it, which I never do, or I never
Oh
did
gosh, the
back
craving
then.
was so real.
It was, and then I, like, was able to keep it down, so ever since I've been like
Oh,
McDonald's nuggets, if you need,
wow.
like, bland food that also, I guess, technically has protein in it,
Interesting.
that's my go-to now for just, like,
Wow.
bland filling food that is kind of
Oh,
tasty.
wow.
The difference when something's filmed in New York is wild. I watch Sex and the City, and I just know a rat has crawled over Sarah Jessica Parker's foot between shots. Is that something that happens normally in New York? Please,
Oh my
not
god.
the rat. Oh
Is the
my
rat
god.
issue that crazy? I have heard I haven't been to New York in so long, but
Me too.
I have heard that there's rats. There's literally rats.
I I don't know. I lived in France, and, like, Paris has insane rats like this big. I
Ah!
remember like, it's
That's so
and they're so
scary.
well fed, and they're well fed on, like, carbs and cheese. But I feel like you don't really see them in the daylight, but I think you see
Mhm.
New York rats in the daylight,
Ew.
like, out in the open, like, they are going to their 9 to 5. Like, they're on the
They're
they're on the train
working.
commuting.
They have shit to do.
Wait, sorry. Ghostbusters flopped in New York, but it was a huge hit everywhere else because New Yorkers were pissed about the crew creating gridlock when they shot the climax.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's a
That's
very
so
New York
funny.
energy. That is funny. Um, oh, someone's watching Community right now. How far behind am I? And other people are talking about The Bear, which I haven't started the 3rd season, but
Oh yeah, the bear's
I
very
do like
good.
that show, yeah. Um, I love Barry, it's very good. What is your stance on fan fiction?
Love fan fiction. Fan fiction is the backbone of the internet. Yeah.
Do you, like, read it regularly still? Or, like
I actually don't. I was so big into it for, like, so many different fandoms when I was in high school, but it's
Mm,
just, like, I think because I got very, like, serious about my writing after
mhm.
high school and stuff, like, I just kind of, like, waned off of it, and I don't think I'm, like, part of any fandoms anymore where I'm just like, "I need to get fan fiction of this."
I feel
Yeah.
that. I
But
definitely
it's so
mhm.
comforting though. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, like, truly comfort reads. Yeah, and
Mhm.
I think it requires, like, a completely different, like, frame of mind to write it. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think that it's even comparable necessarily with original fiction because you're, like, working with an existing canon. So you're really just, like, it's a very, like, different kind of speculative exercise to
Mhm.
sort of, like, take the elements of a piece of media and then, like, yeah, just, like, spin it in your own way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love fan fiction.
That is cool, yeah. I am fan fiction positive. I've never had, like, a big fan fiction phase, like, I know people who would, like, read it late into night like, like, be waiting for
Oh, yeah,
updates,
yeah,
like, very
yeah.
invested. I feel like I just never had, like, a franchise or anything that I was invested enough in it to, like, seek it out,
Yeah,
but,
you get,
like
like, emotionally
no.
rocked where you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah, I
yes,
never
I need
really,
this."
like, had that, which is I always thought
Yeah.
was weird because I was on, like, Tumblr during, like, the supernatural whatever
Oh,
phase,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
couldn't finish that show. I didn't like the I don't really like I mean, I did like Doctor Who, but it's silly and it's too long and, like, I don't know,
Yeah,
I'm a bad
yeah.
fan, so I didn't
Yeah.
engage with fan
I'm not
fiction.
good at being, in fandom.
I was also very, like
Yeah.
for me, that fixation that I had when I was younger was, like, my own story that I'd been writing since I was, like, 9 or 10.
Yeah. I
So it
think
was
that's what
like
happened to me too. I got,
yeah,
like,
you
very
get, like,
fixated on my own
invested.
characters, so I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was there was a point where people were writing fan fiction for me, like,
They
about
were writing
my 'cause I
what?
used to post my work, like, on, like, old writing websites. They
Yeah,
don't exist anymore, and if
yeah,
they did, I took my writing off them a long time ago, but when I was way
yeah.
too young to be using the internet, I, like, wrote stories online and they got pretty popular. Or,
Oh,
like, within
wow.
that little community, not, like,
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
big way at all, like, within that
yeah,
singular website, and
yeah.
there were a couple things, like, people wrote, I don't know, stories in that
Oh,
world. Isn't that
wow.
isn't that weird?
That's
Yeah.
so cool, kind of.
But
That's kinda
yeah,
cool.
I no, I must have solicited it, like, I don't remember, but I just remember seeing a couple things and being like,
Whoa.
"Cool."
Fan fiction of your work.
I know. Obviously
Yeah.
wouldn't read that now because, like, if I ever
Yeah,
published, I wouldn't read that because there's, like, some legal issues with that, I think.
yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I encourage it. I would never be the type of author who's like some authors are like, "I will sue you if you write fan fiction of my work."
Oh, no. I feel like so few people feel like that now.
I know, it's a very old school
Yeah.
thing, but I'm sure there's
Although, there's been some book deals announced in recent years that
mhm.
is literally just fan fiction that's been
I which is so
yeah,
interesting to me with the, like, serial number
yeah,
shaved off is I think the term,
yeah.
but sometimes not even shaved off completely because I think they do
Oh,
still wanna be like, "Hey, on the DL, we're not advertising it that way, but this is, like, so
yeah,
and so fan fiction for fans of so and
yeah.
so."
It's a very
Um,
interesting thing because I don't think it's that easy to just, like, repurpose a fan fiction and say, like, "This is now a really good original fiction," because it's, like,
yeah.
a lot of the time built on the foundations of an existing canon, and I think when you're
Mhm.
writing something original, and this is also what separates fan fiction from retellings, is, like, it needs to be able to stand on its own.
Yeah.
So I think when you're, like, repurposing fan fiction, you have to do some legwork, I feel like, to make it feel like it's still, like, its own entity that someone who doesn't know the fandom that you're a part of can, like, still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Like, it does take work, it's not just changing the names.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very unique set of challenges that would be, like, interesting to tackle.
Yeah, it's an interesting craft experience if you, like,
Mhm.
genuinely care to do it, and you're not
Yeah.
just, like,
Mhm.
phoning it in.
Mhm. But I wonder how you, like, shop that in, like, the traditional publishing sphere.
Yeah. Well, I know that a lot of the ones that have been published
Mhm.
traditionally that are previously fan fictions, it's just like they were extremely popular on AO3, like millions of views kind
Oh,
of thing. So they have that built-in audience, basically.
really? But is that,
Yeah.
like, those people have already read it, or is it that they get changed
I
significantly
think
now?
because they do try to edit it and revise it at
Mm.
least a little bit, it's
Mhm.
like
That makes sense,
kind
yeah.
of a new book, I guess.
I
Like, I
don't
don't know if
know if
it's still allowed to stay up on AO3. I
I
don't know, but
it
I'm
mustn't because
thinking of a
that's
lot of the Raylo books.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I did know that a lot of them start out online, but
yeah.
I'm just, like I'm trying to think from the perspective of a reader. I don't know if, like, I would be interested in picking up that book unless I was, like, really invested in, I guess, the
So people
author's
get really
journey.
into, like, the world of a
Mm.
fan fiction.
Okay, okay. Especially if
Yeah.
they're, like, book length, I guess. That's a pretty big
I think so. I think
yeah.
these things are book
Yeah,
length.
yeah. Wild. What a wild world. It's so interesting. It's so interesting
Publishing
how
is
internet
a
changes.
wild ride.
Yeah. I'm fascinated to see how publishing, like, continues to well, I hope instead of just pretend like, staying in the same fashion or I guess, like instead of remaining stagnant, I wanna see how it, like, evolves with, like, internet culture and, like,
Yeah.
self-publishing, online publishing, indie publishing. These are all becoming actual,
Mm,
like, major contenders for that space. And I'm
yeah.
like, "Okay, traditional publishing, time to evolve," or like,
Time
"Mm,
to evolve, but they evolve, like,
it."
at a glacial pace.
I know.
I feel like it's, like, devolving.
I kinda think so too.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I won't get into that because it'll take forever. Alright, let's
yeah.
do I don't know, what's a good amount of time?
Maybe 15.
Yeah, I have very low stamina right now, not gonna lie.
Oh, sorry, guys.
You could
My cough
likely
is
pick
terrible.
oh, no worries. You could likely pick a Reylo fanfic at random, and it'll be better writing than Rise of Skywalker. That movie is terrible, so yeah.
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember it that
It's
well.
just because it's not memorable, but it is awful.
Yeah. It's funny because 'cause I've seen every Star Wars movie, like, throughout my
Mhm,
life,
mhm.
but I just, like, cannot remember them. Like, even the most recent, like, movie trilogy, watched all
Mhm,
of it, don't remember it.
mhm.
Um, the only standout one for me has been Andor, and I am
Mm.
watching The Acolyte right now.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't really like it, but I'm watching it
right.
because it
I've heard
has
not hmm?
I was
Wait,
gonna
it
say
has
I'm
who?
watching it because it has Amanda Stenberg and Manny Jacinto in it, but I'm not actually
Oh,
enjoying the story.
so it has
Like,
hot people in it. Okay,
it
perfect.
has hot people in it, and that's the only reason I, like, watch it while I'm, like, doing something. It's, like, not, like, a focus show for me.
Right, right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'll because I used to be a huge, like, really big into Star Wars, and it was especially, like, the first 2 movies in the most recent trilogy, like, were really exciting for me because it
Mm,
felt like I was like, I feel like it was such a big deal when, like, the original trilogy came out because like, nothing had
yeah,
really been done like that before, and
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, we're getting that for this generation," and then they just, like, dropped the ball completely on the last one, and I was like, "I don't think I like
Yeah.
Star Wars anymore." I was just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it's
over it."
kind of I
Mhm.
don't know.
There's good I do wanna watch Andor eventually, but I haven't emotionally
Andor's very
healed.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard being invested in, like in because there were such good characters in the newest trilogy, like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, man, Oscar Isaac. And they
Oscar
just
Isaac.
wasted him. Ugh. Um, in fact, I'm surprised Cats is the one from 2019 that took the laughably bad crown in people's hearts. That was like a Cats was a different ki like, it scared me when I saw the trailer, I
Cats
was like,
was
"I feel
terrifying.
fear." Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Rise of Skywalker, I was just like, "I'm horrifically disappointed to the point where I will never engage with this franchise again." But Cats was like, "I'm gonna see this in my dreams," and, like, have nightmares.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is a Lynn for your editing slots on your Patreon. What's your limit for how much you can read slash give feedback on? So this upcoming month, I'm doing like full book. And normally it's
Oh.
basically like, so I do a partial edit first come, first serve every month. And then every quarter I do like a full book first come, first serve.
Oh, wow.
I know, I don't know why I do this to myself. If it goes I mean, I will finish whatever I get this month, but
Yeah.
if it's, like, a big struggle for me, I might take a pause on that. But for the partials, it's,
Yeah.
like, first 10,000 words, and I also do
Mm.
like, if you would rather have me look at your querying package, so your query letter, synopsis, and the first 10, 20 pages, then I'll do that instead. But yeah,
Mhm.
so it's like roughly 10,000, but we'll talk about it. But this month it'll be full book. Yeah.
Wow.
So that'll be fun for me.
Beta reading is so fun, but, like,
I do really
it
like it.
takes so much time.
It does
The
take a
only
lot of
thing.
time to do it right too, and I do really wanna do it right because I really appreciate everyone who, like, supports me on Patreon and, through other means.
Yeah,
But yeah, Oscar Isaac is so fun. He is. And I'm just, like,
crazy.
watching Dune with the where he is, like, the beard. Oh my god. It's like, Lord. It's crazy. Have you seen the thing where he's, like, it sounds so weird, but he's, like, holding Jessica Chastain's arm and,
Wait, when?
a couple
Like,
years ago. They did a movie
this was when they were
together.
on the red carpet?
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah,
was
on the
it, like,
red
in the
carpet.
movie? I do know I've seen, like, photos of that, like, press that they did for that
Mhm.
movie. Yeah.
I'm just like, "Whoa." Okay, I can't say anymore. He's just a very beautiful man, and I appreciate that. Um, oh, sorry, this is a reply to someone else. My brain cells are going. Okay, question for Chris. Will you be doing another open workshop?
Yes, I'm always doing them. It's just, like, I get so, like I film them, and then I think of, like, a different edit that I wanna make. So then I get, like, backed up, and it's been, like, months. Like, the one that I was supposed to do last year has gotten, like, so pushed out because, like, I had this
Mm.
whole debacle where, like, I lost a lot of the footage on, like, my cameras, and then, like,
Oh.
I was so, like, gutted after that because I lost, like, I think 2 videos. I lost, like, a query letter video, and I lost the open workshop video, and so it was, like, so much time that was, like, wasted.
Mhm,
So I got, like, traumatized, but I'm gonna be refilming it, when I get
mhm.
back into my apartment. So,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I try to do them at least once a year because they're my most requested ones.
Yeah.
But I always, like, psych myself out into thinking that, like, "Ugh, the way that I filmed this isn't helpful. Like, I need to,
Mm.
like, do it differently. I need to pick a different excerpt, blah, blah, blah." But,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
I
that's
know I still get a lot of questions about them because I think it's, like,
yeah.
interesting to see, like, people break down prose, so
Mhm.
but it is so time consuming
I feel like
to, like,
when
edit the
I
video too.
yeah, yeah, I feel like those are tough to edit because, like, sometimes you have a lot to say and you have to trim it down too. Or I just
Yeah.
had that experience with, like, editing my own work, and I was like, "Oh gosh, this video might be really unwieldy." Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say I noticed that because sometimes I, like, will type you into the YouTube search because I'm like, "I wanna watch your Chris video." I don't know, that sounds weird, but we watch each other's videos, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and then, like, the autofill will be, like, line editing or editing workshop or whatever.
Oh,
So, like, do you think
interesting.
that's, like those are people like those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, last question, and then we're gonna do our last mini sprint, and then for the day, because it has been a long one. Question for both of you: do you always write/edit in chronological order? No, absolutely not for me. No.
Definitely not editing.
Mhm.
Writing, I jump around maybe, like, 3 to 4 chapters at a time.
Mhm.
So I mostly write chronologically, but, like, sometimes I'll partially write 1 chapter, skip to the next chapter, partially write that one, and then I'll, like, go back and fill things in. But when
Mhm.
I'm editing, like, when I'm done a book and I'm editing it, I usually actually the first pass that I do, I start from the middle to the end, and then I
Mhm.
go to the top to the middle because I
Mm.
wanna make sure that I have fresh eyes for the back
Mhm.
half because a lot of times
That's
what
yeah.
happens is, like, we reread the opening over and over again.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
I
I
like to
get
edit like
stuck on
that.
the opening a lot. That's really smart. Honestly, I should do that. 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
at a certain point, you know your opening, so you can just, like, skip to the
Yeah.
parts that need more attention and more work. I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I just, like I can't. Like, my brain just doesn't work that way. Revising, I can
Yeah.
go a little bit more in chronological order, but, like, I don't know. I got the ADHD, man, like, diagnosed for real,
Sometimes it's
so
just, like, you get ideas for scenes and you just wanna, like, kind of write that scene or
yeah,
whatever.
before it like, the energy
Yeah.
leaves, yeah. like you with your script for the AI video. Just get it done
Yeah.
all in one go.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So let's do our last little 15-minute one here. Oh, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I am ready to get this done. Yeah, let's start.
Hopefully the smoke alarm doesn't go off.
Oh god, it better not. The oven is off now, I think.
Okay.
That is the last sprint. I guess we'll stick around for just, like, a couple minutes in case, you know. Yeah, so how'd you do?
I did okay. I think I only wrote like 150 or 200 words,
Yeah, I,
maybe
like,
200
deleted
words.
a fair chunk and then just kinda
Yeah,
yeah.
I had to relocate because my parents were
Mhm.
like, "Can
Oh.
we use the kitchen?" I was like, "Okay,"
Oh, no.
because
Oh, your
I was
friend's
on the ground
party.
floor
Right.
because that's
Oh,
where I
this went on for
usually
so
live.
much longer than I expected. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I didn't even
Okay.
finish my chapter, so I'm probably gonna keep writing later tonight.
Yeah? Yeah, I probably will too, but I definitely wanna eat dinner because it smells so good, and the little piece I had was so tasty. Ugh.
What? Oh, it was mushroom. You
Yeah,
said
the
right?
stuffed mushroom, but it had, like, this really good, like, sweet and savory, I think soy-based sauce, and, like,
Ooh,
cheese and herbs. Ah, so good. I
delicious.
know. But yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get into the swing of things with, like, the voice here.
Are you like literally drafting? You're on the first chapter or
Y
so?
Yeah, I'm still in the first chapter.
Exciting. The
I know
first
it's
chapter is
weird.
so it's like the best part, I feel. I love a
I
first
think it's,
chapter.
like, the most satisfying to get done, yeah, and then
Yeah, because 'cause you're like,
but
"I did it," like, it's the book is written.
it's finished.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I usually like the beginning, but, like, writing the beginning, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times, because I tend to, like, write scraps of projects when I have the idea for them, and then just, like, leave it. so I have a little bit more of a basis. Like, I don't have that for this because I just
Oh,
stuck with the
yeah.
outlining process. So it's definitely like a
Oh,
different
yeah.
kind of writing process for me right now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Let's
Takes
see.
time.
I think we have a couple of questions. Question for both of you. Will you ever do a video on your characters to show and talk about them a little in detail, kind of like Anna knew? Though I do get keeping things limited for marketing reasons. Um,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't think,
Anna does make those videos. That seems
yeah.
fun.
I I don't think I do a video exactly like that, but I do talk about my characters a lot, I feel like.
Yeah, I think I talk about them in my vlogs, but I've never
Yeah.
done, like, a dedicated video. I think because not because I don't wanna yap, but because I feel like I'm not sure if people would be interested in it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I did do a video where, like, Anna and I just talked about our characters, and it
Oh,
was very
yeah.
fun. We did, like, a collab video kind of a
Yeah,
while ago. I just remembered that.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was fun, but I feel like that was also different because it was a conversation. If I just sat here and was like,
True.
"Here's, Jessica,
Yeah.
brown
I think
hair."
brown hair,
Have you
brown
do you
eyes.
Love Is Blind? Like, the
Um,
reality TV show?
I've seen clips of it.
Okay. It's very trashy, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's,
I
like,
know.
a sound bite, like, one of the girls on there says, like, "Brown eye" or 5'2", "brown eyes, thick thighs" or something, and, like, that runs through my head repeatedly.
Oh my god. I think I would be more, like, inclined to make that video after I've, like, done a premise reveal, I guess.
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
don't really know if I want to, like, talk deeply about my premise until I'm on submission because I don't like to make promises about, like, "Hey, guys, this is my book is about," and then, like, it
Mhm.
changes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really, like, cognizant of what I share, not just for, like not really for marketing reasons, because 'cause I'm not at that point yet, but just because I'm like, "Well, this could all
Yeah.
change at any point." So, I
Yeah.
don't wanna, like, present something that turns out to be false, and then people are like, "Well, I was expecting this, this, and this," and I'm like, "Sorry." I
Or, like, yeah,
yeah.
talking about, like, the tropes or, like,
Mhm.
the intention with the
Yeah.
character. Like, I
Yeah.
kind of do it in my newsletters, I find.
Yeah.
Like, if you check out my Substack or if you're subscribed to my Substack, I talk a lot about, like, my characters, I find, in those without even,
Mhm.
like, thinking about it. I just,
Yeah.
like to reflect on it. But I've never
Mhm.
thought to, like, put it in a video because I don't know if it's, like, worth
Yeah.
filming and then editing and then
Yeah.
yeah.
I would do something like that as marketing. Like, if I
Yeah,
did
I
sell and
think
I was
right?
like yeah, I think
Yeah.
that'd be fun for then, but and also, like, Anna is going on to, like, self-publish, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
so I feel like that
Yeah.
makes more sense, like, build that hype up because it's gonna come out faster, but for traditional publishing, the
Yeah.
timeline is just so long, and, like, so
So
much can
long.
happen in that, that I'm like, "I."
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'm open to it, just, like, at a different point in the process, and it's just a little different for us traditional publishing pursuing folks.
Yeah.
Question: Do you struggle with writing a character unable to express their thoughts or defend their stance in conflict when in real life you know exactly what to say?
Struggle with a character unable to express their thoughts or defend their stance in conflict.
That's
I
me.
think that was writing I think I that was me writing Local Heavens. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, Nick
yeah,
Carraway.
yes,
Oh,
that
Nick
makes sense,
Carraway."
yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Carraway.
So, it's like yeah, if you guys don't know, I wrote a a science fiction retelling of The Great Gatsby, and I think Nick was probably, like, the element in the story that changed, like, a lot every single draft, um, because he has that quality to him where it's just, like, he's so I always me and my brother always use the term, like, gaseous or, like, he has no spine.
Yeah, he
So it
kinda
was
is
like a
spineless.
lot of the work that I did with my agent was like her trying to strike that balance between Nick's like lack of a spine, but also like him kind of coming into himself and like realizing um how he wants to like navigate conversations and like going from um expressing his thoughts only in his head to eventually expressing them
Mm,
out loud. Like, it's kind
yeah.
of an arc, I think,
Mhm. I feel like even in
but
that in the draft that I read, which was, like, before you got your agent or kind of, like, simultaneously,
yeah.
that, like, arc was present, so I feel like
Yeah, yeah,
the
and
seeds
it
of
was
it
a
at
lot of
least.
just, like, "We need more of this. We need him to
Mm,
talk more." I was
yeah,
like, "Ah."
yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because the draft that you had read of Local Heavens, like, there was almost no romance, or it was, like, a
Mm,
very, like, subtle romance,
mhm,
um, and then my agent was, like, constantly trying to be like, "Give me more."
mhm.
I was just
I
like,
yeah.
fine."
I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
revisions boils down to, "Give me more of, like, these elements that you've included," which
Yeah, yeah. It
is
was
fun
just
for
like, this
me.
is, like, a very key part of your story, and if you flesh it
Mhm.
out, then
Then
yeah,
it'll be, like, a major strength, yeah. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
curious, like, I haven't read the version with, like, more romance, and I am very curious about
I
that.
should send it to you. I guess I never sent you the one that my agent
Yes.
has right now.
Sure. We can
Yeah.
do a trade, you can have mods, which is
Right, you're
literally
gonna send me moths. Yeah.
the
I'm,
last
like,
part of
bouncing
it
off the
is
walls,
so
like, refreshing
sweet.
my email. Like, "Lynn, where's the
I'll
draft?"
do it tomorrow. I also need to read it again, so
Oh, yeah, take your time. I'm not
mhm.
actually yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I'm probably
I
not
don't feel
I don't
pressured.
have the like, strength to edit it right now, so I'll probably
It's
just send it to you and be
fine, it's
like,
fine.
"Just tell me what you think." But yeah. But, like, I am very aware of the issues in it, so it's like, "That's
That's
weird." I
good.
just don't have the brain power to fix it right now. Um, okay. Just a couple more questions. Also, you can leave at any time. You are free to
Oh, I'm good.
get out.
I'm
Okay.
good. I
Any
sleep so
thoughts
late.
on threading plot lines together at the climax? Currently struggling with resolving everything in a satisfying way.
Ooh, that's a huge part of writing, the climax. Um, I'm trying to think if there's, like, any standard advice I can give.
I do think this is something that is very dependent on your story, like, because it
Yeah, yeah,
I guess start with theme, maybe?
yeah.
That's a
Theme
good
is always
starting off
my
point
starting
because
point.
theme is
Yeah,
kind of what glues everything together, or, like, it
yeah,
should theoretically. Sometimes that's not the reality for me, and that's okay.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm okay with
I think
oh, go for it.
okay, I was just gonna say, I think that a lot of the satisfaction of a climax comes from, like, understanding the relationship between a promise and a payoff. So, like,
Mhm.
when you're foreshadowing things about plot twists, characters throughout the book, it's usually around the rising action and the climax where your reader is getting, like, the payoff of that foreshadowing that you did hopefully earlier in the book. And I think if you get to the climax and you find that it doesn't feel exciting, or there's not a release of tension. I
Mm,
think it, like, helps to kind of go back to the earlier parts of your draft and think about, like, where am I, like, what are all the scenes where I'm contributing to the main conflict in the story?
mhm.
And, like, can I strengthen those plot beats? Like, can I, because I think it's like foreshadowing is really just like a breadcrumb trail, right? And it's
Yeah.
just like thinking about, like, how much bread do I put down?
Mhm.
Um, not me using my dumbass, like, analogies, but I
No,
hope
I
that's
like
helpful.
it. Yeah. No, yeah, exactly that. I agree 100%. Um, okay. Honestly, it's wise to keep those cards close. There's a certain author who refused to tell readers her characters' birthdays because she didn't wanna get beholden to that math, and she got
That's
roasted for it.
me. Oh my god, I'm so bad at timelines.
Me too. That makes me
Yeah,
scared. Wait, she got
yeah.
roasted for having the birthdays, like, wrong?
Like, maybe the seasons don't match up. I don't know.
What? Okay, I mean, whatever. Honestly, the only I don't consider math when doing birthdays, I consider star signs, so I'm like, "Oh."
There's two brains. There's truly two types of people in the world.
Literally. Am I gonna get roasted? I don't know. The birthday is whatever you want it to be. Also, thank you
Yeah.
for the super, that is so fucking kind. I'm always, like, blown away when people do this. Um, So, Lynn, do any of your characters cross over in books or stories? My necromancers, ooh, necromancers, me too,
Ooh,
seem to travel through my stories. Um,
oh, that's fun.
no. I don't think my characters really cross over. I feel like I like to have
Yeah,
a
me neither.
set of characters. And also I write very different things. Like this book is very different from my last book, which was very different from my
Yeah,
previous book. Yeah.
yeah.
So, I don't know, but sometimes what do I do? Like, I do like it when I see that, I'm like, "Ooh, a little Easter egg." I
Yeah,
can't remember the last time I saw it, though. Um, I feel like
yeah.
sometimes I'll throw in, like, a small reference, and I'll be
Mm.
like, "That's an inside joke just for me," and it doesn't matter if it gets cut.
I do find though, I don't know if other writers are like this. I feel like a lot are, but like whenever I'm writing, especially fantasy,
Mhm.
I when I do my world building, I naturally like feel the urge to write like prequels. Um,
Mm.
or so like if there's like an older generation in the cast, like I when I start brainstorming like their backstories, I'm always like, oh, that would be such an interesting story. Or like with the world that I'm writing right now, it's like I keep thinking about like thousands of years, like
Mm.
the same world, but like thousands of years in the past, or like
That's so
several
cool.
hundred years in the future, kind of thing. Not
Mhm.
that I'll ever write it, I don't really know, but it's just like I think it'd be really fun to like write within the same world, but at like vastly different points in history.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so cool. It's so cool that you're thinking at, like, such different timelines. I kind of had that with mods as well because it is about, like, alchemists. I was thinking about, like,
Yeah,
the life of one of the established alchemist characters, and I was like
yeah, that'd be
but
cool.
and I wanted to, like, write a short story about them, but I started it and then, like, got busy, so but
Yeah.
yeah. Would you ever, like, write a short story about, kind of in that vein?
I started writing a novella of like the prequel that's maybe not 1,000 years. I think that's like 600 or 700 years. Um, I think I really want to write it. Like when I send off this first draft to my agent, I have like a list of things that I want to write
Mm.
while I'm waiting for her.
Yeah.
So,
That is so cool. Yeah. I that sounds awesome. Okay. Okay, only a couple more. I think this is probably the last one. What is some advice to write a structured plot being a character-driven author who has more knowledge about a character than what is going to happen?
mm,
You can write a character-driven plot.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what people like actually.
Yeah, I think that's a
Yeah,
good kind of plot. And also
yeah.
outlining, especially
Outlining.
going from like there's something called I learned about this recently, like the snowflake method. Have you heard of that?
No. What is that?
It's I feel like snowflake is like kind of a weird term for it, but you basically start with like, okay, a one-line pitch. What happens in the story? Like what's the plot? And then you go to kind of
Uh-huh.
like maybe a one-page synopsis, and then you go to like a rough outline of the three acts, and then you go to like chapter by chapter. So you kind of like
Oh, yeah.
start small
Yeah.
and then build bigger, or like almost
Yeah.
like looking at a very simplified version of the big picture and then getting more detailed. So I
I
guess
think
it is
that's
kind
kind
of
of
a
my
snowflake.
process, actually. I just, like, never really thought of
I
it
s
like that.
like, I was gonna say same, like, I just never had
Yeah,
anyone put it into words like that. And, like, I
yeah.
do a much more compacted version of that, but,
Mm.
yeah, so that's something you could try, where, like, if you are struggling to come up with those plot structures, then, yeah, this person's, like, less like a snowflake and more like a snowball. Kinda, yeah,
Yeah.
where it gets bigger and bigger, but if you are struggling to come up with,
Yeah.
like, the events of a story, I feel like that's a good place to start.
I honestly
Mm.
think character is, like, a very good starting point for plot because
I agree.
I think if you don't, like, if you strip away the idea of a
Mhm.
plot and you just wanna think about your story as, like, my how I want my character to evolve throughout the story,
Mhm.
like, what are they I think you can just do, like, character exercises, like, what are their fears, desires, and motivations? Um, what goals do they have? What is their internal, external conflict?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. I feel like that's what makes a plot more than just, like, what happens. So it's,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, very important. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Plot is hard to
Yeah.
come up with sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, like, what scene to put here. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that, like, in the Western storytelling structure, plot is about, like, making character decisions,
Mm.
and like character decisions that a reader would understand why they would be like pushed to make those decisions. And that's just
Yeah.
like a series of that, basically.
Yes. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the 3 C's again.
Yeah, which you came up with or talked
Y
about in your video.
Yeah, which I don't think it's not an original concept, but just, like, something I put words into in that specific way.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was helpful for me because, like, once I put that into words, I was like, "Yes, that is how I should be approaching this." But yeah,
Yeah.
so that was the last question. I think we're good to go. I feel like that was a really productive session. We did yap a lot, but it's fun to yap,
Yeah, we
so
did. Oops.
yeah. Sorry. 3 C's. I was watching a read with Rachel vid and she mentioned the 4 C's. Sorry, I shouldn't assume that people know what I'm talking about. I did a
Oh,
video
right.
that is about what I consider the 3 C's of like character driven writing, which is every scene should have context, which is like why people are the way they are, choice, characters make a
Yeah.
choice, and then the consequences of that. There's a video titled The 3 C's.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want to check that out. I don't know what the 4 C's are, but I'll look into that. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Kris, for hopping on the stream. It was super fun to have you.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good time. Sorry again about the smoke alarm. I hope that never happens
That
again.
was
That was
great.
so stressful. But
Oh
I
gosh.
got stuffed mushrooms out of it, so it was worth it. All right.
Worth
Well,
it.
I'm going to end it now. So, bye, everyone.
Bye.
It always takes so long to